Hey everyone, welcome to True Crime Sleep Stories. Today I'm going to tell you about the very small town of Doveland, Wisconsin. Population, well, actually we don't know the population of Doveland, Wisconsin, because this town is one of America's biggest little mysteries. But before I get started telling you this story, if you haven't subscribed to the YouTube channel yet, please take a moment to go hit that subscribe button. It helps the show grow so much. Thank you. Wisconsin is a wonderful state, full of natural beauty, dotted with lakes, forests, and wildlife. It's known as America's Dairyland, which is one big reason why their cheese is just so good. The state also has some of the best beer in the U.S., with Miller Brewing right there in Wisconsin. But Wisconsin is also known for its wonderful people, and there are so many cute, quaint little towns with friendly people welcoming you in. We don't know how many people lived in Doveland, Wisconsin, or if it actually really ever even existed at all, because Doveland, Wisconsin is one of America's biggest little mysteries. Was Doveland part of a government project gone wrong? Is it another instance of the Mandela effect at work? Was the town sucked into a black hole? Or are people just misremembering? We'll discuss all the interesting theories coming right up. Doveland was a small town in Wisconsin that many people absolutely insist existed up until the early 1990s, and then it and all the people who lived in it just up and vanished. You won't find Doveland, Wisconsin on any maps or in any books. The only evidence that Doveland was ever really a place comes in the form of stories of people who had been there or lived nearby, or people who have the random Doveland mug or Doveland t-shirt. There's also one photograph of 3 people, 1 man and 2 women, sitting at a table of what sources say is a Doveland restaurant. Is it really in Doveland, though, or are people just trying to perpetuate a myth? One theory is that Doveland was like many other small towns in America, that due to a failing economy, the people of Doveland just slowly left the area, moving to bigger towns with more opportunities, and then the town just faded out of memory. Another explanation for the Doveland disappearance is damming. Damming has actually destroyed many small Wisconsin towns. Was Doveland one of them? There were many hydroelectric projects taking place in the late 19th century in Wisconsin. The town of Werner, Wisconsin is an example of what could have happened to Doveland. Werner was intentionally flooded in the 1920s by the Wisconsin River Power Company to form what's now Castle Rock Lake. So maybe the town was washed away and all the evidence of it ever existing was washed away with it. Others claim that the town was related to a government project called Project Sanguine. The project's purpose was to better communicate with deep-sea submarines worldwide because radio waves could not travel through water. The solution was to bury huge cables under approximately 41% of the state of Wisconsin, thereby turning the state into the largest radio antenna in the world. U.S. Navy officials crafted the project in the 1960s, highly motivated by pressures from the Cold War and the desire to send important intel to nuclear-powered subs that stayed submerged for months at a time. The state-sized antenna would allow the Navy to transmit extremely low frequency, or ELF, waves capable of penetrating water and reach the subs. The project never came to fruition due to the immense cost and the environmental disturbance it would require. The Navy instead opted for the smaller version, Project ELF, which was built in Wisconsin and Michigan's Upper Peninsula and operated between 1989 and 2004. Many of the online comments about Doveland include the detail that it was inhabited by mostly military personnel and their families during the construction of this antenna array. This has led many people to speculate that maybe people just left the town once Project Sanguine was canceled, and being a military-based town, it simply faded out of people's minds. Other people, however, believe that Project Sanguine was, in fact, completed, and somehow it caused Doveland's disappearance. Maybe the government did away with the town and everyone in it, or some people think it may have fallen into a completely other dimension. One interesting point is that you can find t-shirts and other items like mugs claiming to be Doveland tourist merchandise on the internet, but these are likely items that have been created as a result of interested people researching this story. So, was Doveland, Wisconsin a real town that faded away, as many small towns do, when the economy took a turn for the worse? Or was the town wiped out in an attempt to hide the fact that it ever existed? Or was Doveland, Wisconsin an imagined town that was made up like so many other creepypasta stories and urban legends? What do you think? So, was Doveland, Wisconsin a real town that simply faded away out of memory like a lot of them do when the economy takes a turn for the worse? Or was Doveland wiped out by the military in an attempt to hide the fact that it ever even existed? Was Doveland, Wisconsin a town that was just made up like a lot of the creepypasta stories you hear about on the internet? Or was it another instance of the Mandela effect? What do you think? Let me know in the comments. And if you like this story, please subscribe to the YouTube channel for a lot more content added daily. Until next time, lock your doors. Bye-bye.